Hey everybody, it's Christian Buckley doing another MVP Buzz Chat, and I'm talking today with Ofir. Hello.
Hi.
It's great to have you on. I love talking to brand new MVPs. Like, just you are days old, so
Yep.
congratulations.
Thank you.
And for folks that don't know you, who are you, where are you, and what do you do?
So my name is Ofir Gavish. I'm located in Israel, and I'm trying to, I don't know, make the world better using Microsoft Intune, I guess.
Making the
One
world
computer
better.
at a
That's
time.
just a nice little slogan. You have that on your website and your blog.
Not yet.
Yeah. Well, it's very cool. So, I always like to ask, kind of the origin story. Like, how long did you know about the MVP program? What was the process like of becoming the journey to becoming an MVP?
Well, ever since I started in this occupation, the IT field, I've always loved Microsoft, and I've I knew there were MVPs, like people that contribute to the community, and help other people, and then post um, information and knowledge so others can benefit from. And I've always seen that as something that I would like to do myself. And in the past 6 years, where I've been working at Essence Security, then I've been working mostly on cloud infrastructure and security and everything.
Hmm.
And I've found Intune to be a very interesting place and space. And I found myself producing or building solutions that were not uh, available at the moment. For example, getting notification for statuses of remediation scripts for computers.
Hmm.
So if you would like to get um, notification which devices failed a remediation, then I've built a custom solution for that using Azure Automation Runbook and Graph API calls. Um, and yeah, I guess that's about it. I've ever since I've touched Intune, I've felt that I like that product. I can really dive in and I don't know, I felt passion for the product.
Yeah. Well, I think that's kind of the core. And I don't know if you've had now people that have that you've worked with or you kind of network to that even over the last couple of weeks becoming an MVP that have probably reached out and like, how did you do it? What do you recommend? Like, what does the process look like? What's your response to that for somebody that's interested in maybe becoming an MVP?
Well, it's a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie. Well, I've set up my own blog and website, published a couple of articles. I made two or three webinars together with Microsoft Reactor
Hmm.
about Intune. I've um, I've published a few solutions that I've built on GitHub, PowerShell and C# code. Tools are built which are open source, and I help a lot with the local community in Israel with the WhatsApp groups. There's like
Yeah.
we have a user group that has around 15 or maybe even more WhatsApp groups that around the Microsoft area. So I try to be helpful and help everybody. So I
It's just
guess
a
that's
quick
it.
observation. Isn't it interesting? It's like we have Skype that's shutting down. I mean, pushing over to Teams. It's like more and more I'm coming across people that are saying no more Facebook. I don't want to do stuff on Facebook. It's a waste of time. And yet WhatsApp is exploding, which of course is owned by Meta and
Yeah.
Facebook, but like user groups are moving there. Like, I mean, tons of stuff with the Microsoft communities over there.
Yeah.
So something to be said about like that style of tool. Maybe Microsoft, like maybe it was a mistake to kill a couple of those products. Yeah.
You think Skype was a competitor to
No,
WhatsApp?
no, it was different. I was like, but the style of like the chat based,
Yeah.
the tools that are out there. And I get it. Microsoft wants to move people to Teams, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the free Teams experience and things out there. I like more of the SMS based, the encrypted technology. So that was a long time, like Telegram user
Yep.
and WhatsApp and international. I mean, the other thing is that like somehow I'll just say that like Facebook has like a deal with the devil because Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp, you can be on the worst internet connection globally somewhere. Like I've been in airports where I can't get a signal, like nothing, I can't call out. Yet one or both of those products seems to work, and then I can do like voice calls via
Yeah.
those apps on those crappy like how they do that. I don't know, but
I agree. I agree.
yeah. So sorry, that's just for folks. That's for frequent international travelers, and you sitting and like waiting for a connecting flight in some small mid-level airport with no real Wi-Fi is just
Yeah.
crazy that you can do that. But yeah, anyway,
Technology.
so what's kind of your passion? Like, what are you writing? What are you doing now? Like, what we're talking about now? What exciting things are happening in the Intune world? It's not my area of focus, so I legitimately don't know what's happening with Intune.
Well, a lot of very interesting things are going to come out pretty soon. The whole Intune suite has some very nice new stuff together with the endpoint admin protection or endpoint. Sorry, I forgot the name. Endpoint privilege management. That's going to be a very nice feature, and there's a lot of organizations that are already working with it, but it keeps getting bigger and bigger every day. Um, the multiple device query that where you can write KQL queries to query multiple devices at once and try to narrow down a specific troubleshooting event you do or stuff like that really kicks in, looks very nice. I've been working on actually, I'm trying to develop a tool which hopefully will be open source to help users or IT admins manage the browser extensions of browsers. Because I believe that uh, every organization should block all extensions from the browser and use allow list, or to allow specific extensions.
Yeah.
And setting that through Intune is not the nicest experience because you can just enter the ID of the extension and that's it. You don't have a name. Like, let's say someone before you configured the policy, and then you come and take a look and you see all the IDs and you start searching by one. So it's not ideal. So I'm working on a tool that will help you view the extensions that are configured in the policy, the name, all sorts of details that you can get from the extension store. And hopefully I'm also working on integration with threat intelligence, which will help you know if the extension is if it's secured or not, if it has vulnerabilities and stuff like that. So Yep.
Yeah, I know enough that like I realize that there's a lot of breaches, that things that happen with some of the extensions around that, where I
Mhm.
will, if I like something's interesting or a new product that wants to add an extension, like I'll go and look at forums, see what people are saying, and because a lot of times you look at it, especially if you're excited by this cool new AI automation tool, and there's a free version, the freemium, like always that's a flag for freemium.
Yeah.
Do some investigation, and you go look at the forums and you see from people wiser than me that are like, look, it does it this way, which breaks this policy. This is a huge risk. It opens you up to this, or like, be careful of this. We've had these problems, and I don't know what it is. I can't figure it out yet, but I signed up for that, and now suddenly I'm being spammed this way, or there's something
Exactly.
else. So like, you've got to do your research. It's like I tell my wife and kids, like, never click on a link on the phone somebody's sending to you. Do you think that
Exactly.
you're aware of that? Like, is that my bank or isn't it? Like, you see a notification, I then go to the website or that interface for the app that I know is secure and log in that way. And I'll tell you, more than half the time I see those, I go in and log into the native app. It looked real, and like, there's no notification. It's a completely fake thing. So
Yep.
don't click on anything ever.
Suspect everything, trust nothing.
Right. Do you see? I mean, I had another question for you, because you're in this space with the mobile device management capabilities now. I mean, for a long time, I mean, I've been in IT long enough that I had the work devices. First the pager, and then the phone, and other devices had the actual with the algorithm running with the key card to with the changing every 30 seconds password or whatever it was to get
Yep.
into, because I was in the data center world and access different facilities. So I had all of these different things. In fact, the joke for a couple of years was it looked like I was wearing like a utility belt from Star Wars. And one time I bought like a little fake lightsaber and attached it to my belt just to see if anybody would say anything. And it took almost the whole day before anybody mentioned anything. But with that, there was a big push to like no personal devices, like you'll have work devices. And then there was the movement, like 15, 20 years ago, really towards the bring your own
Yeah.
device. Like, where are we on that argument? Is it is because it seems like it kind of vacillated, went back and forth for a little while. But with like a lot of the tools like Intune does, I mean, are we just fully embracing the bring your own device, but you have to have there has to be some visibility, some layer from work on that, or how do you handle that?
Well, uh, basically it's by the organization's policy. Stricter organizations, or government organizations will probably have stricter policy, and would not have personal or bring your own devices connected to specific applications or systems.
Hmm.
And some organizations even, well, they don't want any control on their employees' device, but they do want to control their application. So that's something you can also do with Intune's the mobile application management, where you can only control the application. For example, if an employee installs Outlook on his personal profile or phone, and he logs in, then with mobile application management from Intune, you can set a specific app protection policy to deny that user of doing specific actions, or logging in to that account from other devices, or
Location.
using any other you know um, authentication methods, yeah, using conditional access. So yeah, I think we are there, that bring your own device is kind of taking over at some parts, and I think we will only see that growing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love the concept. I'm sure that there are other nuances. Like, there are things that work really well and others that are not up to some company standards, where they may
Yeah.
say, for the time being, no, we need you to have like our device. We'll build it out, kind of all those things. But
The
yeah,
BlackBerry days.
I mean, I love that idea too. If you've got your own device, whether it's a laptop or a mobile phone or a tablet of some kind, and then you say, okay, I'm quitting the company, that they have the ability to immediately go and
Yep.
lock it and then pull it, like just like no, it's
Yep.
no longer installed. They like yank it down. Love that.
Yep. You can wipe the data that is only for your organization. So that's, yeah,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
No, I'm excited about some of that world. Again, I've not been in that space, but I have enough friends that I've been in IT for over 30 years that came up through like the desktop support ranks. So
Yeah.
I still sit in conversations with them. Like I've got a good friend that started a company that they put in mostly phone systems, but they did other wiring. So again, pre Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
pre the modern internet, but would go and wire facilities. And I've actually joined him and went and helped out on a big project where he was shorthanded and ran cables and pulled cables of old system and helped set up new systems. This was a long time ago,
Yeah.
but the conversations they had, the issues, like it when you go and you sit with people that run this stuff in tune, it just feels very familiar. That's the before there was DevOps. I mean, because which is another part of their business.
Yeah.
It's another side of that. Like again, they were doing all of that as well as phone systems, setting up devices, setting up the network,
Yep.
helping
Yep.
them manage the source code and other collaboration plans. They kind of did all of those things until they matured and those different areas and veered off. I went the collaboration route, so. But well, one final question for you. It's like I always like the question when Microsoft says like it's a black box to becoming an MVP. I mean, ultimately, Microsoft, there's things that you can do. You can go and like take a look at find an MVP that you really like and kind of mirror that type of activities. Have conversations. We're all very friendly. Ask
Yep.
us what we're doing. Talk about like is this enough? At the end, none of us MVPs can say what's enough because ultimately it's up to Microsoft to make the decision there. But one thing that there is a common discussion point is that there are gaps. If you talk to your MVP lead and say like, where do we not, in the program have enough MVPs? Like, where are there stronger opportunities than other areas to become an MVP? I don't know. Do you see any like within your space? Because security is kind of a big bucket. Do you see areas that are like underserved where, hey, these are great opportunities for people to kind of quickly gain traction?
Um, I think so. I think that specifically in my category, yeah, the security category uh, could use a lot of MVPs sharing knowledge and helping out the community. I think there's the security area is very big. There's tons of different smaller things you can do and look for. um,
Yeah, you go talk to any CXO, any executive. Security broadly, is always the number one. And
yes.
30 years I've been is like I participate in the surveys and done customer surveys. Security is always number one there.
Yep.
So there's always topics, and one of the first places you can always go look at is go look at support logs for if you're a product or service company. That's a great place to start. Like what are
Yep.
the broad themes that are security minded that you be like, hey, I can help better explain this. Do we need more user training in this area? Or are we seeing unique problems that we didn't see 3-4 years ago and start
Exactly. Exactly.
writing
So
about it, talking
I
about
think Azure infrastructure and I think also identity. Those two areas are available for new MVPs to conquer.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always tons of opportunity, and even if
Yeah.
there's in a crowded space, you've got your perspective, you have your experiences, your stories, all are valid, and somebody that may not, maybe they don't identify with some of your background, your history, writing about something. If I write about the same thing, they may be like, okay, that I get, like, up through this, different path to this place. So
Yeah.
it's good to have multiple voices out there.
Yep. I agree.
Well, very cool. So, so if people want to get in touch with you, so obviously there's LinkedIn, there's out there. That's how we connected out in the community.
Yep.
Or other places where you're very social, where people could find you, or where do you direct people?
Unfortunately, I don't have Facebook.
Yeah, that you don't need it. No apologies necessary there.
All right. So mostly LinkedIn. I do have my my blog, my website, where you can reach out to me, which is mscloudninja.com.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very cool. And of course, I'll have the links to your LinkedIn and your blog. I think I've also got on your profile, you've got your GitHub profile.
Yep.
So I'll have all the links there, and anything else that I can find about you out there, I'll build into the profile there. You can find that out on the Buckley Planet blog, of course. And we'll be back next Monday with another interview with another MVP somewhere in the world doing something interesting, I'm sure. So, but Ofir, really appreciate your time.
I appreciate your time, Christian. Thank you for having me.